Welcome to the Mark Attwood Show, Adventures in a Cosmic Suit, otherwise known as Mark Attwood and the Crystal Skull. Indiana Jones 5, eat your heart out. Now, nearly Christmas, and about 3 months ago, I did a video called WTF, Are Stem Cells Anyway? About 10,000 of you watched that and engaged with it because I was talking about a product that I've been testing myself for about 3 or 4 months called LifeWave patches, and they've been all around the world with me and kept me in incredible shape over the last few months. But what I wanted to do with you guys is bring on some other people that have actually experienced these. Hello, Cheryl. Hello, Kimball. Hello, Kathy. Hello, Sally. Hello, Peter. So we have a square rectangle table, and we're going to talk about these things, which have been He's been all across America with me. I drove 14,000 miles of these in my briefcase and wore them every day. And people kept saying, Mark, your label's sticking out. And I was like, and all I can tell you is that I've never had more energy. People keep saying I look younger. My hair's growing back. It's just amazing. And I also met lots of people in the States who were wearing them themselves. And I was in the Sahara Desert only a couple of weeks ago, and people were wearing them there. So over to you guys. Let's talk about your experiences. Cheryl, you introduced me to this product. Thank you very much. I'll just introduce yourself briefly to everybody again that hasn't met you.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Diamond Murray, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I have been in LifeWave since March of this year. So really excited to be here.
It's good to have you. Kimball, where are you? You're in... Have I said your name right? Kimball? Is that
actually? It's just Kim. It's Kim, and my surname is Ball.
I thought I'd take a risk that it was Kimball, but it's Kim. Hi, Kim.
Yeah, just Kim. Yes, I'm in Bali, and I've been using LifeWave patches now for just over a month. And actually, you introduced me to them because the first time I found out about them was through your last Telegram interview with Cheryl. And yeah, so it's been an amazing experience. But do you want me to go in and discuss my experience now, or
we could do that? I mean, this is up to us. I'm just sort of steering the ship, but if you want to go into it, I'm happy for you to do that.
So after I saw the interview with yourself and Cheryl and Dr. Harmon, I did my own research on the product, and it sort of triggered me actually when I first saw it, because I'd already been investigating stem cells as I'd sort of been on a health journey. And here in Bali, we have the privilege of having some scientists and doctors who use this sort of live blood analysis. And in sort of June of this year, I kind of fell a bit ill, and then went down the live blood analysis and discovered that my blood was pretty yucky, and I had various things happening in my body. And one of the results that came back were my stem cells were quite low. And so then the doctor said to me, well, these are the things that keep you young. And I was like, oh, and I was kind of shocked. I was like, wow, I'm aging, yeah. Sorry?
Join the club.
Yeah. Well, I'm 51, so it was, but I guess, for as soon as you hit 50, it's kind of like, wow, and then when your interview came up, I was like, wow, this could be good. And this is natural because, I'd been thinking, oh, do I go to Thailand? Do I go to Mexico? Do I have to get these things injected? And then the LifeWave patches were brilliant, almost too good to be true, really. And working on the photobiomodulation, and I'm kind of into all of that stuff anyway. So so I've had the first thing I noticed when I put them on was that in 2 days, I felt incredible. You know, I'd had this sort of stuffy head, I had blocked ears, I'd had sort of recurring migraines and headaches, and you know, within 2 days of putting them on, I just felt that everything had cleared. It was kind of miraculous. And then since then, you know, the tightening of the skin, increased energy, increased motivation. You know, the energy patches are just that. They give me energy. You know, it's just a brilliant product, really.
Yeah, I didn't know about the energy patches because I started on the X39, and I'm working my way through the rest of them. And sorry, that's my son. And then I was about to go on stage in Anaheim about 7 weeks ago, and this woman called Kim came up to me and said, "I think you need these, the energy ones." She stuck them there on me.
Yeah.
And they stayed on for about 3 days because I was buzzing.
Yeah, they really work. You know, I do experiments with these things, you know, so I put the energy patches on, and then, you know, I can go the whole day. I don't have that slump after lunch or anything like that. I can do my exercise. And then when I don't wear them, I notice a significant, you know, decrease in my energy. The same with the sleep patch that I wear here on my third eye. Funny story with my husband with that one, but you know, I have the deepest sleep, and it's incredible. And you know, the next night I'll take it off, and then, you know, I won't sleep so well. And he's noticed it as well. So I mean, I do experiments with them to see, you know, if it's true, you know, if it's not just placebo or whatever. So yeah, it's been a really good journey.
Well, there's a Telegram group. I think Cheryl sets it up, which is like before and after patches, or it's like testimonials of the patches, and there's just tons and tons and tons of pictures and stories and loads of people. This is why I wanted to talk about it again, because people say to me, "Why are you wearing that?" So I explain what it is, and then they look at me like I'm a little bit like I'm not wrapped too tight, you know. Like, how are you falling for that? It's just a sticker.
Yeah.
Sorry, I left an open-ended question there to have a cup of tea. Thanks for telling us that story, Kim. Kathy, do you want to tell us your story?
All right, so I'm Kathy. I'm in Boise, Idaho, and I have been using the patches for a little over 2.5 years now. And I can tell you, within 2 hours, the first time I put them on one of the X39 stem cell activating patch, I felt this huge surge of energy go through my body, and it lasted for days. I did take mine off after 12 hours and put it back on 12 hours later, but over time, so it's been 2.5 years now. I'll just give you a list of some of the things that I have experienced with it. So my hair used to be mostly platinum, and it's almost brown again. It's probably double to triple in volume that I had, and it grows like crazy. I have gotten heart palpitations have disappeared that I used to get. My eyesight's gotten better. My gums have tightened up. I go to a naturopath, and we did a thermography on me. And then 2 years later, we did another one, and he told me that all of my organs were functioning better than they were when I had my first thermography.
Wow.
So, you know, I had no idea all of that was going on inside of me until, you know, it spit out this image and we could see what was going on. My feet, I used to have to wear cushioning on my feet all the time because I would go to bed at night and my feet would just throb, and I don't have to do that anymore. So even the bones in my feet have, I don't know, I just don't have any of that pain anymore. You know, it's just amazing. I sleep great. I'm dreaming again. My energy level, my mood is just steady. I mean, I've had just so many different things happen, and I don't have any illness. You know, I'm not on any medication. I'm 65, but I've had all these amazing things happen that I was not even expecting. So, I've had some scars disappear. Just so many things. But yeah, it's the most amazing product I've ever used. It's something I will use for the rest of my life.
Wow, that's why I just took a load of these over to my mum.
Yeah.
She's got this. She's got to have an operation on her foot because she's got this thing in there and a bit of metal in there from a while ago. She's had heart problems before. She's overweight, her hair was thinning. So just making her stick these on. I have to remind her every day, make sure you stick your patch on. But I'd not seen her in maybe 3 months, and she's the kind of person who would never, she doesn't sort of notice things. She kind of forgets when she was ill and forgets when she was hurt. But she looked completely different. Her hair was thick. Her face was, she was walking the dog 7 miles every day. And I was like, this has got to be, it's a cumulative effect. I mean, I've also noticed weight loss and an improvement in my hernia.
Yes.
Cheryl, is that unheard of?
No, it's not unheard of, actually. It's what it does is it goes to where your body needs it the most. So the stem cells are working. You have no idea what it's doing. So quick story right now. We went through an amazing experience with my husband. He started taking them in March. And of course, he kept saying, sure, I don't feel any different. I don't feel blah, 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 blah. I'm like, just keep them on. I don't want to hear anymore. So just 3 weeks ago, he had to go rush to the hospital, found out that he had a mass in his colon, and his colon was about to burst. So they had to take 13 inches out of his colon. Found out that mass, they tested it. We came back to the doctor and he said, listen, you had this mass that was cancer in your colon, but it was so compressed, and I've never seen it before. He said it just contained itself. And so there is no cancer anywhere else. And so they got all of it. And I know it was the patches because it's contained it. It just pulled it in. And you have no idea what's going on. It's amazing what your body can do.
Well, you've been on the show before, and you've been involved in LifeWave for how long?
Just since March of this year.
It's only not this year.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yep.
I forgot that. Yeah, I mean, you can't really stop talking about it once people start using them. I mean, just to listen to Kathy and Kim, like you guys watching, we've only just met, and some of these women are up at 3 o'clock in the morning to do this call. Mm-hmm. Is that right? Is that what it is in Bali?
Kim and Sally, yeah.
So thank you for doing that. And Sally, hello, Sally. What's your story?
Hello. Yes, I'm zooming in from bed. It's 3 a.m. here for Kim and myself. Well, Kim introduced Mum and I to it. Mum and I recently moved back to Bali, and I'm noticing. I mean, look, we've only been using them for a month. I'm noticing, especially with Mum. I mean, she's sleeping really, really well, and she's always had trouble sleeping, and she gets cramps in the night, and she is not waking up anymore. The first couple of nights she did, but that's a big thing for her because she has always woken up about 2 or 3 times in the night. I'm also noticing with her, her skin is really just smooth, and I mean, she's 81, she's amazing, she's not on any medication, and is always looking to do things to improve how she's feeling. And I noticed her cognitive, her memory is better, definitely, and that's only in a month. She's remembering things that she wouldn't necessarily do. And with me, I'm using most of them. There's a couple that we can't get here. And I definitely the sleep one, I go into a much, much deeper sleep, and little things, I had this kind of, I don't know, I've had this weird thing on my foot, and I have tried everything, every cream, every pill, it's like just skin on my foot, like not a kind of like a fungal thing, and I've had that for about 6-7 years, and that has gone, and I've not been able to do anything. I'd put on a cream and it would sort of disappear, but it would always come back. And also a couple of things on my chest. I put the glutathione right over these 2 little spots. One was like sort of a raised little piece of rice, and another one was like a dry spot on my chest, and both of them have disappeared. But yeah, look, as I said, it's only been a month for me, but noticing skin for sure. My skin is better and brighter. I'm probably not looking great right now. I've got a light shining bright. I am 95 though, so
Ah!
I think
Older than your
it's
mom.
not too bad for 95.
You look hot for 95.
Yes. Hot for 95. That's right.
And Mum's 130, so yeah. No, I think
Sally's
no,
on
that's
the,
my story.
Sally's
So
on the
yeah,
sense of humor patch.
yeah. Anyway, that's our story, and Cheryl has been wonderful and always there for advice. And you know, I've got a few people onto them so far, and she's amazing. Always there at the end of the WhatsApp or Telegram to give advice too, which is always helpful.
Yeah, I mean, Cheryl's been amazing. That's why I decided to work with her, because I haven't got the time to do a lot of that support stuff, and that you are doing a great job, Cheryl. Really appreciate it. And because
Yeah, I second that.
yeah, it does take a little bit. I mean, getting your head around the products is one thing. Experience. I think the key to this is people watching this. If you haven't tried, can people try these without getting locked into some big subscription thing?
We'll let Peter answer that.
Yeah. Hi, Peter.
Hi, Mark. Hi, ladies. Well, first, thank you for sharing. And it's been an incredible ride here myself. So I've been here for 40 months. So for Sally and for seeing you both, and the question is, can you join and not be in?
No, my question was, you see, what happens with this? There's a couple of things that happen, and I try to counter those when I talk about products and companies like this. So, firstly, this is a network marketing company. I have no problem with network marketing companies because they're not giving any money to the cabal. They're not giving any advertising money to Google, to the newspapers, to the TV, the media companies. It goes to the people who share the word of mouth. And that means that you can actually have a sovereign home-based business where there's no limit to what you can earn.
I think it's the way of the future.
Yeah, it's for me, it's and that's why network marketing gets such a bad name. I mean, somebody said to me the other day that I was introducing them to, she goes, "Oh, that's a pyramid scheme." I went, "No, it's not a pyramid scheme. A pyramid scheme is one of those things that you saw happen over the last couple of years when you kept putting into a crypto fund and getting paid out. That was a pyramid scheme. That's why I never joined it and never talked about it, because I recognize pyramid schemes a million miles away. This company's been around for 20 years, is it, Peter?
Almost 20 years. Started in 2004, so 18 years now.
Yeah, and this is verifiably based upon technology that was developed for the US Navy. And the reason why I took so long to get into it is because I needed to try it myself, and I got the results. But the testimonials, you've just heard 3 incredible ones here. The testimonials that you see all over the website and everything are incredible. But apart from the network marketing question, which I always counter with, and if you don't like it, just go somewhere else. But I always counter that because I truly believe network marketing is a phenomenal way for people to earn money without working for the man and doing 9 to 5 and doing all that crap and commuting and everything else. But the other thing is, people say, "Oh God, that's really expensive, and I have to be locked into a subscription." And what I was asking Peter is there a way for people to just try a bunch out? Because if people wear these for a month, they see the difference.
Oh yeah. Well, we have a few options, and obviously, if you ever take this on, I really want everyone just to understand. I don't treat LifeWave as a network marketing company. The network marketing concept is just for us to get it out to the world as fast as possible, for everybody to take back control of their health or their wealth. Now, you join just like anything, like joining the gym. You can buy one package and join us, and then you can pay for 3 months ahead, 6 months ahead, a time of your products. Save money on shipping. The company will give you extra products for free as you're paying for 3 months or 6 months ahead. So there are many options, Mark, for you to minimize your monthly outgo. But I believe when your viewers really understand that this is not an anti-aging product at all. We are talking about reversal of aging. So when you're saying reversal of aging, especially to all the women, right? What do women spend money on? Hair products, skin products, nail products, eyebrow products, every product you can think of, that is called a monthly subscription because you're constantly paying for that every month for you to, meaning stop your aging. So what if all your viewers today can really understand how much can this little patch save them? When I say save them, how much can it save you in a monthly outgo? Because if you truly break down this patch, it's literally $4 a day, less than $4 a day if you're getting it at wholesale cost. If you're getting it below wholesale cost, which you have the option, it's almost $3 a day. So
That's
yeah,
that's half a cup of coffee in Switzerland.
uh, uh, in America, you can't even get a Starbucks for $3 anymore. So I can't.
Right.
And that's one thing I love about our industry. In the last 3 years, our organization has brought in over 40,000 members. 40,000. You cannot do that the traditional way anymore, Mark, right? Because you and I know how long does it take up to fill hotels. Old seniors cannot go around, drive around, and be doing the old traditional business anymore. And during the COVID lockdown, we really utilized this technology, which is called your cell phone and Zoom technology, and now using StreamYard technology to expose information. We are now in an information world, and when you absorb that information, it's up to you what you want to do with it. So it's great to have someone like Mark Attwood here that has huge resources, huge influence to share this information out. And now we have a great team and a great system so we can get people into the gym, make sure they get proper worked out and learn about this technology as fast as possible and how we can support you. So it's great hearing all these testimonials. We have thousands and thousands of testimonials that we have accumulated in the last couple years. I've heard of anything from everything. So I just call it miracle testimonials, but we are the miracle. This technology is the light. And I believe the world today is more than ever, Mark, to take on the light, especially moving into next year where we know it's not going to be that light. There's a lot of darkness in the world that needs to be shed out. So I'm glad we're waking up one family, one person at a time in today's times.
Thanks, Peter. I agree with all of that. And I was going to ask you guys are you guys that just gave the testimonies, are you involved with the business side of it, or are you just using it as a consumer?
I just started doing the business. I started using the products first. I joined with Cheryl, and then as I think about a week after I was using them, I headed over to Sally's house and I told her and her mum about them because I thought that they would be great for her mum. And then, the interest has just been quite incredible because whenever you talk to somebody about, the patches and when they see them on you, everybody is genuinely very interested. And I've not had one person say to me that they don't want to try them. So for me, it's the easiest thing to share.
Hey, Kim.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Did somebody say something?
Yeah. Hey, Kim, do you tell Mark about what you feel about as you build it, how you're getting paid?
Okay, so it's quite lucrative, actually. My background is sales. I had a recruitment company for about, 9 years, and I was in recruitment for 20 years. And I also did 5 years in real estate. But this is different. It's obviously you don't have any setup costs. You don't have, staff. It's just completely different. So what you do is you sign someone up, say for instance with Sally and her mum, and then you get paid 4 ways. And I mean, I guess I don't know the ins and outs of it, but you get paid 4 ways. And in the beginning, it's good because you don't really understand the commission structure, but you're getting paid on everybody's wholesale pack that they get. So for me, it's a great introduction into a business. And then after that, you're like, oh wow, this is so motivating. You know, I'm getting paid, you know, 500 US or 300 US or 200 US for each pack. And then after that, you go down the road of investigating the other ways in which you get paid. And so I'm just starting down that track at the moment to realize how everything else sort of works. And I'm building a team below me. And then obviously I refer to Cheryl for almost everything. And, you know, that's another highlight, is actually working. It's kind of like I'm working as a team with so many different people, but I don't have to report into anyone, you know, like I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. You just kind of go for it. And it's easy, it's simple, and it's hugely rewarding.
One of you guys earlier said this is the future of business. Who said that? Was that you?
Me.
Sally, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's dig into that a little bit, because I agree with you.
Yeah, well, I just, as you said, you know, keeping money from the cabal, I think it's just amazing that you can just do something. You feel like you're kind of in a way under the radar from the banks and from the tax man, or, you know, just having to report what you're doing. It's just the freedom. You can do it from anywhere in the world. And every time you go somewhere, people always look at the patches. So they almost sell themselves, because people are, you know, you've got one here, and you've got, I have them on my wrist. I have them on my chest, the back of my neck. So people are just inquisitive. And stem cell is something I think that has been talked about for just so long. But you feel like it just gets talked about. Nothing ever really, you know, you just, I mean, it's talked about that it's the way of the future, but this was just so simple. And I was watching an interview, I'm not sure who, if any of you other girls saw it, but this woman was basically saying that she, you know, I mean, oh gosh, no, I've totally now forgotten what I was going to say. So come back to me. I've literally forgotten the story that I was going to say about this interview that I was watching. But anyway, look, you know, I just think it's just the freedom of being able to do it wherever you are in the world. And yeah, they kind of sell themselves, and people are super inquisitive about anything to do with stem cells, I find. You know, I do find that men, a lot of men tend to sort of laugh and say, oh yeah, how does that patch get stem cells inside of you? People don't, you know, you have to explain that they activate your stem cell. There aren't stem cells in the patches that are trying to absorb into your skin. I find the technology fascinating, but yeah, I think it's the way of the future. You know, all you need is a laptop, and you can do it sitting under a palm tree in Bali or anywhere in the world.
Yeah, you just made me laugh, because I remember going around America with this one on here, and everybody was coming up to me saying, "Have you had a tracheotomy?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "No, have a look at these." But there was an incredible amount of people on the tour in the States that had them, because I think the other thing is a lot of people like us are looking for anything to keep big pharma away from us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I love about it, because it's prevention,
sure.
not cure.
Absolutely. And then also the other day, I had a bit of a hangover. We had a guy called Zach Bush here doing a talk on Monday night, and I had a couple of glasses of wine. It's so hot here. Obviously, you tend to get headaches. So the next day I felt a bit rough. So I put the glutathione patch just here.
Yeah.
I'd seen you do it, Mark, so I thought I'd do it. And I'm not kidding. Within 2 minutes, my headache was gone.
Wow.
It was so clear. I didn't feel like I could run a marathon, but my head felt, normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you know, I was going to say to Peter, I must have spent £2,000 last year on hair loss products, just those alone, easily. As you were talking about the women, I was like, that one, the men too. especially at my age. And it's like, I'll do anything to stop myself going bald. And, you know, and this is actually improving at the moment. And these things are amazing. Like you just brought those up, Kim. And I was, again, back in the States, I bought a bottle of glutathione, like a swishy thing. And it was $50. It was $50 just for this bottle. And the bottle lasted about a week. And, you know, so that would have been $200 right there. Whereas I can just pop this on and it's just making the body produce more of it. And that's what I like about it. And it's totally clean.
Yeah, but glutathione is not easily absorbed into the body. And this is another thing, is that people don't realize that they're taking all of these supplements and it has to go through the gut. And unless you have a fantastically functioning gut, which most people these days do not, you're not going to be able to absorb that glutathione, particularly glutathione, actually. You have to take a liposomal glutathione. And again, you know, which brand, you know, how long's it been sitting around on the shelves? Is it going to work? I mean, it's very tricky. So for me, the glutathione is one of the most important patches in the whole set.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Kim. Kathy, you were trying to speak, but you're on mute. That's why we couldn't hear you.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah.
I can
So
see the mouth moving.
can you see me now? Hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So when I got into this business, I had been keeping my eye on stem cells because my understanding was it can help to slow down the aging process, which is what I wanted to do, you know, so I could enjoy my grandkids. And so I had actually called down to a clinic in Florida and one in Mexico to see how much a stem cell IV injection would be. One was 10,000 and one was 12,000. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to do that. And so about 4 months later, I went over to my friend's house and I saw the patch on her back and I had already seen some information on it. And I said, so what is that? And so she told me what it was. I said, well, stick one on me. And like I said, within 2 hours, I had gotten this energy that's flowing through my body. I already knew that I was going to whether I had anything going or not, because if this did what it said it was going to do, because we had been talking about it, I was all in. So I went ahead and signed up that first day, and I have never looked back. And I came in right as the COVID lockdown was starting. And I just started, you know, Peter and Marcy created this amazing tool that we have, this amazing program. And I was getting on the testimonies every single night. And if I wasn't, I was listening to them. I was just following them. I was going through my website. I was teaching myself all about this. And I began my whole business during lockdown. And because of what Peter and Marcy have created, it was so easy because I could just invite people to come and listen to other people's testimonies and what they did. And so for a year or more, it was on Zoom, it was on the phone, it was, you know, through text or email. And it has just been an amazing ride. And, you know, just to hear from other people what they have experienced and how it has changed their lives is just so enriching. And so, yeah, it's just an amazing, amazing product and system that has been created to help all of us do this business.
Yeah, well, let's talk about Cheryl. Let's talk about the founder for a minute, because we've not mentioned him yet. And I know that a lot of the people within LifeWave are massively inspired. In fact, when I first showed interest, you sent me a video and said, just watch this guy. Mm-hmm. Tell people about, because he's quite extraordinary, isn't he?
Oh, he's amazing. And I think because so many people can relate to him, he's the type of person that is so down to earth and grounded that you want to be so much like him. It's easy for people at all walks of life to connect with him. I don't care if you're the CEO or president of a company or you are, you know, in the ditch, to be honest with you, because he brings balance in. And his knowledge is just amazing, but you would never know how smart this man is, because he wants to do two things mainly, is to help humanity balance with Mother Earth. And that's one of the biggest messages I got from him, because I just think he's just an amazing soul-hearted type of person. And I think anybody like that at the helm of any type of business, it trickles down all the way through every single person that comes into contact with him and his business. And I'm sure, Peter, if you, I know you've probably met David.
He's gone.
Well, I've had the pleasure of meeting Dave a few times. He's actually flown out to California. I've had the honor of speaking on stage during the 21 convention last year.
Mm-hmm.
Really, actually, I just got off a SPD call with him also. I just want everyone to know I've been in the industry for over 20 years. I have dealt with numerous and numerous CEOs in the health space, CEOs in other spaces, and all I can say is whatever Cheryl said, this man is he's the modern day Tesla. His creations, his technology, what he's coming up with to just help humankind, the way that he operates this company, it's so it is so humble, meaning that there is absolutely no hype. Everybody comes in just to work, just really again to share the light and be the light for the world. And he treats everyone the same. He takes care of all the leadership in the company, and you can really tell when you can go to a convention and you still talk to the distributors, the oldest distributors who've been here 18 years, 17 years, 16 years, 15 years ago. That's when you know that you have a loyalty, a very great relationship from the CEO down to the field. Now, is LifeWave growing, everyone? Yes, it is. LifeWave has grown over tenfold since in the last 3 years, ever since that we came in and ever since the X39 was released. So what we're seeing is really a stable company that is debt free, where the owner controls everything, but in an 18-year-old company that no one has ever heard of yet, especially going into the stem cell world where we're only selling literally band-aid or wearable technology to
Mm-hmm.
activate that. I don't know in business where the stars can align like this. I don't know any opportunity in today's times where you're minimally, literally, for you just using the product, you are already in the business. So there is no upfront cost. All David wants is to make this as simple as possible for you to just be part of the light and just share the light. And that's the only way we can impact a billion people or billions of people all around the world starting now, today.
Yeah, thanks for that, Peter. Guys watching, I'm going to leave links in the description below here where you can go and find out more. You can connect with Cheryl, you can buy the products, you can do lots of different things. So make sure you check that out. Does anybody want to wrap up this chat? Because I'm mindful of you girls going to bed.
Got to go back to bed. Yeah.
We're already in bed. As you can see, I'm already in bed.
You managed to stay awake. Well done.
Yeah, I did remember what I was going to say before. That video that I was watching was this woman, and she was 63 years old, and she'd had a terrible accident. She fell out of a plane, basically, and I think you might have sent me the link, Cheryl.
Mm-hmm.
That amazing. Do you remember that amazing woman? And she was some sort of skydiver or something, and she'd actually fallen and hit the earth, and she'd had terrible, terrible, trouble with her body. And she went and had these stem cell injections, and she'd spent $20,000 US. And she said, oh my God, she felt absolutely amazing for about 4 months. And then she said, and then that was it. It just stopped. She said all the things, all the ailments came back, and then she started using the patches, and she's been on them for about 7 or 8 months or something. I mean, she looked incredible, and she also put them on her cat. You can put them on your animals as well,
Yeah.
which I think is amazing. I have a beautiful standard poodle here in Bali.
Mm-hmm.
And he's 9 years old, and every night when I take my patches off, I put them on him. She was saying she had a cat that was like 18 years old or something,
Yeah.
and it was losing its fur, and it couldn't get up the stairs. And she said she put the patches on for a month or something on the cat, and the fur started growing back, and all of a sudden the cat was running up the stairs. So yeah, it's I love stories like that. I think it's amazing.
Yeah, perfect product. It's the perfect product.
Yep, and it's for anyone and everyone. And yes, no drugs involved.
Yep.
Oh, and I used them also on my children. So the glutathione, sometimes I use the energy and the Aeon as well. And one of my daughters had very bad acne, and her acne is completely gone. Her skin is amazing. So I did say to her, "Do you think it's the patches?" And she said, "Maybe. I mean, it could be, Mummy."
Which
So
did you use?
which stickers did I use for her? I use I use a variety. Sometimes I use a X39, sometimes an Aeon and a glutathione. But I don't use them every day on the kids. But yeah, so I don't really know which one cleared it up.
Perfect.
But while we're on that, I've got a few here. This is the Aeon.
Aeon.
What would you do with this one?
Aeon's for
I
inflammation.
use.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, honey.
Well, I use the Aeon with the X39 because the Aeon is an anti-inflammatory patch.
Right.
And so stem cells apparently love inflammation. So they go to the area where there is inflammation. And unfortunately, stem cells are killed off with inflammation. So if you've got the inflammation patch on with the X39, that it enhances the effects of the X39 patch.
Where would you stick it, Kim?
I stick it on my C7. So just here, the big bump on the back of the neck. I always wear my X39 there. And my Aeon I use just below the belly button. I use my glutathione on my right leg, down near on my inside of my shin. And yeah, I mean, you can wear them anywhere, but it just says to really wear them on your acupuncture points or your points of meridians on your body. But yeah, you can wear them on anything. I mean, I've been wearing them, on where I want to clear up my skin. But they do say for the best benefits, wear them on your acupuncture points.
And which one's this one? Because I haven't used this one yet. Carnosine. Anybody know about that one?
Oh yeah, carnosine is amazing. It's actually extends your telomeres, which is it's amazing. I put it in my lower back every day.
Thanks for that. That's I'm just getting free advice here because it stops me having to read the email that I forgot to read. This one's interesting. The aloe vera.
Aloe vera.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead. Aloe vera is the evening patch. You wear it at night. It's for skin, hair, and nails. Okay, so that's the one you wear on your third eye at night also, and it actually opens up your third eye and helps you decalcify your pineal gland.
Have you noticed more vision since you've been using that?
I have noticed, not my vision, but I have noticed better sleep, more vivid dreams. My hair is getting better. My skin glows. So that's what I've noticed. Kimmy, I know you've been using it, right?
No, we can't get the aloe vera.
Oh, that's
but I mean, we really want the aloe vera because I'm all into this lengthening of telomeres. I mean, give me those long telomeres. But I think the carnosine also is good for the telomeres. I think it keeps the telomeres long, right? But yeah, if you can get the aloe vera in the UK, I mean, Mark, maybe you can send some over to us here in Bali.
I tried. We're trying to send them to her.
I mean, I
also good for memory.
Sorry, Kathy.
I'm sorry. The carnosine is also really good for the brain. So any memory issues and whatnot, it's really good for that as well.
And wound healing.
And wound healing, yes.
My husband's wound healed. The doctor could not believe how fast his wounds healed. And I had Aeon and carnosine on each side of his scar.
I forgot to mention, since I spoke to you last show, I had a skin tag here for like 10 years.
Yeah.
It just fell off.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Little thing.
Because I was looking at all sorts of things that, you freeze it off and everything, and it just literally just went.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've put the X39 and the carnosine and the aloe vera actually on specific areas, and it's amazing what it does. Heals it.
Yeah, that was like the glutathione that I
Yep.
put on chest, on those little bumps on my chest, and they've both completely gone, and I've had them for years.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's amazing. You learn to personalize as you start to understand what they do, and you can put them anywhere. You can personalize, and you're going to put them back on the regular spots. And then if you want to do a specific spot, do your X39 and Aeon on your shoulder if it's hurting you. You can learn. You will learn your body, and you will learn how to read it, which is fantastic. That's what Peter kept saying about the light body. That's what this light patch does. It opens up your light body. That's what I believe. I think it's just going to help people just, glow. Really. It's amazing.
I have been getting people saying that about me because I've met a lot of people. I've met maybe more than 10,000 people in the last 3 months.
Yes, you have.
And I don't look, I feel quite tired today. I've had a bit of a restful week, but I'm actually full of beans. I can't rest because I've got too much energy.
I find the energy one, I can literally feel my bones buzzing. And it was like my whole inside was just like buzzing with energy. And I wear, the brown one on my left inner wrist and the right one on my right inner wrist.
Mm-hmm.
And you almost feel it like buzzing through your body. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, I think we've said plenty of things here that should get people interested in taking a look at this. If you haven't already taken a look at it, just try it. Just try it.
Mm-hmm.
Go and do some maths. Look at the stuff in your kitchen, in your cupboard, in your bathroom, stuff that you buy to try and make yourself feel good. So, at one point I was spending over $1,000 a month just on supplements.
Yeah.
And that's gone
Yeah.
right.
Correct.
And that's gone right down there. Right down.
I mean, do you remember all being on NAC and all these sorts of things? And, like half the time you don't know what you're taking. Those single compound supplements, half of them I think don't even work. So I think this is the thing.
Cool. Right. Well, thanks very much for staying up. And sorry, Kim, you got something else to say?
No, I concur. I agree. I mean, I'm a health coach. I mean, I've got like literally bowls and bowls of supplements. And since I've started taking these patches, I don't take supplements anymore. And when I went to the live blood analysis lady the other day, my blood was amazing. Like, it was stacked before and now it's all sort of floating around. And she said to me, "What are you on?" And I said, I'm not on anything. I said, I'm on these. And I held up my wrist and I had my patches on. And she's kind of like, "Oh, right. Okay. Well, keep going."
Well, I'm glad you said that, Kimmy, because the body can actually produce almost every single vitamin it needs. The only vitamin it cannot absorb is vitamin D, which the sun then hits your body, the light hits it, and then it opens up a peptide and it creates the vitamin D. Now, what you do need with these patches are some minerals. So I stopped taking all my vitamin supplements, and the only thing I take is a mineral supplement, and that's it.
Well, I have potassium, magnesium, sodium salts in with water, and I had Ian Clark on recently, and he's got an amazing, basically stuff from the sea, and that's massively changed my life.
I just ordered that, Mark, too.
I'm not drinking straight water anymore. I'm always having salts with everything now, and I'm also kind of on the lion diet, which is basically meat. So,
Which diet? Which diet are you on?
Well, it's known as the lion diet. So there's the carnivore diet, but then there's the lion diet, and the lion diet is ruminant meat and salt, nothing else.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and I'm not 100% on it, but I'm going that way because I've been on the carnivore diet for 9 months, 10 months, 11 months now, and the changes, combined with this and everything. Well, I'm getting younger.
Yep.
Yeah, you are, and I'll make a comment about that. Mark, is that I was talking to another person the other day, a naturopath, and told her my journey, and she looked you up on and looked at the first interview you did, and And she said, and even interviews from a year ago, and she said, you look amazing now in comparison to a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, and you know, and I'm not perfect. I still drink and smoke.
we all have those.
You know, but I'm a big believer in you know, someone said to me, why do you do all this health stuff if you still smoke? I said, well, because I'd still be smoking, and if I wasn't doing the health stuff, I'd be doing unhealthy stuff, and I'd be twice as unhealthy.
Yeah.
So it's about what, you know, winning your battles. And what I really like about stuff like this, I can just stick it on. And same with my kids. I can't get my kids to swallow a pill for love nor money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One of them was ill the other day, and I said, please just swallow this, and you'll feel better. And he wouldn't do it. So now I'm just going to stick one of these on him.
Yeah, stick a patch on him. Just pat him on the back and just stick it on. He won't even know it.
And what was that one? What was that one about acne? Was that you, Kim, said about that?
That was me. Yeah. It could have been that, you know, I used 3 different patches on my kids, you know, sort of not every day, but, you know, when they ask to be patched, they get up in the morning before school and they say, can I have some patches, please? And I just go, okay, how are you feeling today? What do you got on? Oh, I want some energy today. Okay, energy X39, or, you know, one's feeling a bit sort of, you know, a little bit not well, and glutathione, you know, and Aeon. Aeon always on the belly, particularly for girls as well, I think is good.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you, everybody. It's 50 minutes, and thanks for watching, everybody. Click the link near this. Thanks for staying up in Bali. Thanks for joining us, Peter. Thanks. Great to meet you, Kathy. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much, Cheryl. You're doing an amazing job. I'm very glad that we're working together on this. Thanks. So thank you very much, everybody. I'm going to go for a glass of wine.
Awesome. That's a good idea.
Enjoy.
Bye, guys.
Everybody. Bye.
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 Take care.
Bye.
Bye.